Welcome to NameCast. So, Kev, I got a sandwich today. And let me tell you about this sandwich. Now, on this thing, they put bacon on it, but it wasn't that thin spray-on kind of bacon. This was some thick bacon. You really had to bite to get through it, you know? You could see the cross-section of the bacon, and I like that.
That's good.
That's very good.
That's the right way to have bacon.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to NameCast. My name is Nathan, and beside me is...
Kevin.
And we're here to talk to you about a lot of things today. Today, the game we are playing, Kev, is Antichamber.
Antichamber.
Ooh, made by an Australian fella.
Been on my list for so long.
Pretty interesting game. Now, the next week, we are playing another game that Kevin will find out, but we're talking about a couple other things, too.
Yeah.
We are talking about... the Oculus Rift is on sale all summer for $400. Wow. Isn't that something? And we also have the D3, so Diablo 3 Necromancer pack that's been released, and that's it. We don't have much news this week, Kev.
No.
But without further ado, I figured we might as well get into it with our housekeeping, Kev. So what have you been up to? What's driving your clock lately, bro?
Trying to think of the games I've been playing. Played some Halo since last time, I think. Yeah. We had some good funs. There's one level on Halo CE, the first Halo, that is super freaking long. And it took us like almost 2 hours to get through it. And like it was on Legendary, we died a bunch. We goofed around for a while. But yeah, after it was like 2 hours and we're like, holy shit, that mission never ended. But the thing is with like the Master Chief Collection, they added like some speedrunny type stuff to like, that's why we knew how long it took us to do that mission.
Okay.
And apparently the par time for it is 15 minutes.
Okay.
I'm just like, what the fuck?
Well, how long did it take you guys?
Like it took us 2 hours and the level's fucking huge. Like I think if you just ran straight, it would be like 15 minutes of running. Like it was insane. Like, ugh. Anyways, we had a lot of fun with warhogs and scorpions and blowing stuff up and
Nice.
stuff like that. Yeah, Halo's always a good time to just goof around in.
Goof around, blow stuff up.
Yep. Yeah, I played Antichamber for the show, and I think that was it for game playing stuff.
Okay.
Been pretty busy. It's a little bit of a work crunch going on, and yeah, just other things. Speaking of, something we did together was the disc golf tournament filming.
We filmed people throw stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was surprisingly a really, really intense exercise.
Man, I did not expect it. It's one of those things of like people say to you, like, you know, you can read all the books you want, but you just need time in the saddle. And that's so true. Like, you know, you can look up all about cameras if you want, but, you know, once you're in it and you're running down with your monopod, just sprinting to the other end, I'm like just full on sprinting up hills to try and catch a shot of a person.
From guy
as I'm
to
like,
guy, and their discs are all thrown
I'm like,
across the width of the
slow
course.
Down. And people weren't. And then I missed one shot and they were all pissed off about it, which fair enough, I guess. But like, man, it was something. It was fun. I like doing it. It was, but then you learn the other things too of like, you went through 3 batteries real fast.
Oh yeah.
I went through 2 cameras.
Fast.
It was like, you're just scrambling to get it done, man.
Yeah. Anyways, it's resulted in like 60 gigs of footage and 500 clips.
Yes.
And I need to go through all of it.
You were literally going through all of it, color correcting it, and unfortunately, some of the formats were kind of weird, like the video.
That was fairly quick to correct, all in all, but I had to figure out like how to conform it so it looks nice, and oh my. So yeah, I'm color correcting and color grading all of it. Yeah,
because ultimately what this is getting turned into is kind of like if you look at like a golf tournament on TV, it's kind of getting turned into something like that. Is that my understanding?
Yeah, I think so. A little bit of commentary, and I don't know what they're doing with it, really. Thankfully, we're not editing it, because like, I feel bad for the guy who's going through those 500 clips and peeling a story together out of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, like, hopefully he's able to make something out of those 500 clips and make some sort of story for people to watch. And the big thing for it is they want to show off the disc golf course here. Yeah, because it's one of the better ones. Yeah, pretty course. And yeah, I'm doing my part and making sure the cinematography shows that it's beautiful as well.
Get all those nice shots in. Plus, it's a good experience for us, really.
Yeah. It's a lot of camera use. Like I've shot probably 20 to 30 minutes of 45 minutes. I forgot. I did a fireworks show.
Yeah.
But probably like 45 minutes of footage on the camera otherwise.
And this was like 3 or 4 hours.
This was 2 or 3 hours of like footage.
Of footage, not just like shooting time.
Yeah, so a lot of experience with the camera and my lens and stuff.
It was also cool to kind of see the sport because I hadn't really seen it done before. My friends want me to do it, and it's just cool to see it at kind of a higher level of play, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, so no, that was definitely cool to see, and hopefully they can get us out again sometime. Yeah. We're a little more experienced, a little more into it in that way.
That's the thing. The other big thing is that dodgeball league we were in.
Yes, sir.
Finals.
Who won?
Were the other night, and my team won.
And not just your team won, motherfucker got the win and throw.
Yeah, it was, oh my God, it was freaking intense. So the night was pretty crazy, so I'm just going to go through the whole
man.
night.
Yeah, get into it.
So basically there was an odd number of teams, pretty small number of teams, but first place basically got a bye.
Yeah. And
they went on to face against, I don't know who it was, probably 4th and 5th place.
Okay.
The winner of that match.
Yep.
And they actually lost to that team. So the first seeded team lost like pretty much right away. But then, that other team was the one that ended up getting into finals whenever they beat the first ranked team when they shouldn't have. So, that was a big old upset. Another kind of big upset is the second ranked team played the second last ranked team.
Okay.
And lost. That second ranked team actually has Rob and Shelby from Bonus Barrel.
Yes.
On it. So they lost when they shouldn't have.
They were a good team.
Yeah, and they were a good team. It was pretty surprising. And so that was another upset. And our team was, if we got past the first round, which we did, was expecting to play, that team with the Bonus Barrel guys on it.
Yeah.
And that upset happened. So we're like, I guess we're playing the other team now. Mm-hmm. That was a pretty close match, but we played well. We played super well in the first round. Like, it was an absolute destruction.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like 7 or 8-0 or something.
Shit,
and
dude.
Yeah, a buddy of ours, Dalton, that was his team. Oh, it was your team.
I know.
That you weren't there for.
I was there for that game, you dickhead.
All right, you were.
That's why I was giving you an angry look when you said we destroyed the first team. I was like, I fucking know, you piece of shit.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
I was there.
Yeah. There's one player on your team that we really targeted because, he's really good. And he so a little something about dodgeballs. He plays the corner positions, and the corner positions kind of have the most ability to kind of shake up how the game is going.
Yeah.
By just applying pressure or retrieving balls, that kind of stuff. And we targeted him really hard because he's really good at doing that stuff.
Uh-huh.
So he was particularly frustrated because he barely got to play.
Oh, yeah. He was mad. He punched a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, why'd you punch a wall? He's like, shut up. And then he's like, I'm sorry. Because he's really nice as a dude. But he just gets like a little grumpy for a second. He's like, I'm sorry, man. You didn't deserve that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It was funny.
Yeah.
And then we went on to play the team that upset the Bonus Barrel guys and beat them. And then went on to the finals match against this team that like upset the other teams. Like, they were a pretty good team as well. Like, it was kind of a little bit worrying, and we got up a little bit at first, but then they started crawling back, and so the matches are split into 2 halves, and at the half you like switch sides and stuff. But also, if there's like a match currently ongoing at that point, then it goes into like sudden death mode, so you can't block balls. That counts as like a hit on your body if you were to block a ball. And
with another ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they ended up winning that and tying it up 2-2.
Okay.
So half 2-2 tied, like pretty close. Gets towards the end of the second half. We are up a game, but then they just absolutely start destroying us. So we're up 4 4-3 in total matches.
Yeah.
And they just start destroying us. Get down to, I think, 45 seconds left, and I'm the only one left in.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to buy time
to run the clock.
And I was like a little bad with it. They ended up actually giving me all 6 balls.
Okay.
At that time too, so like that was a big mistake by them.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of gathered my balls up. I went and grabbed one and just stared at the ref, because basically once you have balls or priority to throw, the ref counts from 10 down, and then you need to throw it before that. So I waited until he got to 1 and then threw. So I had as little time as possible, and at that time I think it was like 20 seconds.
Okay, nice.
They immediately got the ball to their best player.
Yeah.
And he threw it at me and just barely clipped me on the foot.
So he got you.
So he got me and tied it up 4-4. It didn't really matter, because like I got it down late enough that no matter what happened, we were going into sudden death. I was probably going to lose that sudden death, so we would have had to play another sudden death game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, that didn't happen. So we did sudden death, 6-on-6, like full teams.
Yep. Full team sudden death.
4-4. Like this is the one to win the tournament. And the the season. Yeah,
exactly.
And so that best player, the one who got me out, we targeted him right away. We got him out first.
Nice.
We started picking them down until they got to 2 people. One girl who's just incredibly good at lasting for a long time. She has like a decent throw as well.
Yeah.
Pretty good at catching too. So there's always that kind of concern. And then another guy. Oh wait, they had 2 other guys. One was a younger kid who's pretty, like, he's aggressive, but like he's also really small and is like impossible to hit. And then another guy who's pretty decent at catching. And then we were targeting that girl who's good at catching and tried to get her out, but that little kid that I mentioned who's really aggressive shook one of our players up.
Okay.
So that player didn't throw, and our other player on our team that did throw got caught by that girl who's good at catching. Because if you only throw one ball at a person, you're going to have a way easier time catching than if you throw 2.
Yeah.
So got caught out. And then all of a sudden, it's 2 for us against 4 for them. However, kind of in that kind of madness, we ended up getting that little kid out because he was really aggressive with how he shook up the other player. So we got him out, and pretty much immediately after, we got that other guy who's good at catching out. However, the guy that she caught in was their best player, because we got him out first, right? He was the target.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we even things up quickly, but still, it was like me and this other decent player on my team.
Which player?
Josh.
Okay, he's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
He started me on Facebook minutes ago. Yeah.
Nice. That is nice. It was me and him against the 2 best players on the team. One of them being like a really, really good player, like Canada level player.
Which one?
Devin.
Oh yeah, I was talking to him today. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he throws balls 15 to 20 kilometers an hour faster than I do.
Yeah, which is pretty significant.
I have a pretty average throw. Like his throw is just nuts. It's how quick. Fast it is.
Yeah.
So that was pretty crazy. However, Josh did manage to get Devin out, but Tabitha, the girl, got Josh out, my teammate.
Yeah.
Pretty much right after. So then it was just
sudden death. The 2 of you.
Sudden death, me against Tabitha, and she's like super good in this situation. This is one point that she really excels. My adrenaline is just freaking pumping at this point. It's like, fuck, I gotta win this.
And to put it in perspective, she's one of the best female players on the island.
Yeah, definitely. And so that was pretty nuts. But she had just thrown her ball. There was one other ball kind of close to her.
Yeah.
And I had a ball in my hand. She went to grab for that ball, and I threw mine at her.
Yeah.
And I just managed to kind of clip her on her shoulder.
Nice.
Which is pretty sweet to get that hit. However, I hit on his shoulder, so it pops up in the air. If she catches it before it lands on the floor, then I'm out, and they win. So it's like this big tense moment, that ball in the air, everybody's looking at it. She starts running for it. However, lucky for me, spin that I put on the ball and
out of bounds.
Yeah. The ball spin, like the spin, like it's how it goes in the air, just makes it start going towards out of bounds. And that was completely lucky on my part because like my adrenaline was pumping so
You weren't
much.
thinking about that.
I threw the ball completely wrong. I was so lucky it hit her. Like my arm hurt afterwards just because I completely messed up the throw because I just wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Wanted to get it at
bad.
her. Yeah. So yeah, the ball was headed out of bounds, and I was just watching her feet, and she stepped out of bounds, going to catch it, and I just freaking cheered. Teammates ran out of the court, picked me up.
Awesome.
Like it was an awesome finale to the league. Like it was great being in my position, but I think everybody watching, everybody playing had a really good time too because it was such a close and entertaining match.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was my Wednesday night.
Nice, man. I actually missed that finale.
Yeah, you didn't stick around.
No, I didn't, which ties in to my housekeeping.
You're going to talk about getting groceries?
Well, it was a little more than that. Yeah. So I guess I can say this now. This is like my total number one line. Do not say this, but I'm going to say this because this is my podcast, and damn it, I want to say the things I want to say. I am now a professional filmmaker. Woo! That's actually a thing. That's the thing I couldn't talk about the other week because I wasn't sure if funding was going to go through or anything. So yeah, I'm doing a
new job.
Yeah, new job basically. Full time. I'm going to be working 80 hours a week for the next 10 weeks. So whoo, buddy.
And multiple jobs, just to be clear. This isn't one employer being a giant dickhole.
Yeah, through 3 jobs. Yeah, so 40 at one, 30 at the other, and 10 at the other. So yeah, no, I'm really excited to be able to do that. I'm basically going all over the island, looking at education programs and just making documentaries of kids learning.
Nice.
So it's good, man. It's really excited to get this, and I've just been grinding, trying to get stuff done. So I do apologize if I won't be able to contribute much to this channel, but hopefully when I come out on the other side, what I can contribute will be much better, I think, or I have hopes at least. So I don't know. I'm really excited to get involved in that, and it's something that I've wanted for a very long time to just be involved in production in some capacity, in a professional capacity, and to be able to do that is pretty sweet. Mm-hmm. So I imagine I'll be able to parlay that into the video game industry in some capacity eventually, hopefully. But hopefully this leads to more projects. And I'm very optimistic at this point. But as far as other things I've been up to, I don't know, man. That's taken up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
A lot of my time. I don't know. I broke up with the girl the other day. It was really weird. That was pretty funny. I mean, like, not funny because, like, I feel bad about it all. But, like, it was, like, literally our first date. And then halfway through, I'm like, I don't know about this. And then, she got real mad. Yeah. Real quick. Yeah.
That's how you tell it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, well, no, she's a nice girl. I hold nothing against her. It's just it didn't work out. I was in a party limo the other day. That was cool.
Nice.
Yeah, man. It was like a big old
Escalade. Was that everything you imagined?
Well, actually, it's kind of funny.
Was there blow? Was there strippers?
There were a lot of girls, but I don't think one was a professional dancer.
That's kind of
She's
close.
a belly dancer.
Ooh.
Yeah, dances with her belly, her tummy.
Interesting.
Yeah, like a Teletubby. She didn't look like a Teletubby, though. She was much less attractive. No, I'm just joking. She was actually a really pretty lady. Anyway, so when I was a youngin', like 11 or so, I had my birthday at Microplay because I was cool.
Everybody had their birthday at Microplay,
exactly.
The local game rental store.
The local game rental store where you go in and they have big CRTs and you plug a console into it and you can go play all the games. And they're like, yeah, play games. Anyway, so my parents, they got me a limo ride because that's something I really wanted. And I shit you not, from 11 years ago, it was the same fucking driver. I guarantee he did not remember me, but I remembered him immediately. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, whoa. That was cool.
Yeah.
Because that was a long fucking time ago. It's probably more than 11 years ago now. I would have been like 11, and I'm 25 now, so do the math on that. 14 years? Yeah. So no, that was a lot of fun. Got to do that. Just trying to work my way through things, doing a lot more biking. Mm-hmm. I do a lot of that now. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to play any games aside from Antichamber because I always try and keep up on what we're doing in the podcast. And that's pretty much what I got. But we did do something together, Kev. Now I'm going to talk about the thing we did together. We saw Spider-Man.
We did.
The newest Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Spider-Man.
And
that spoiler do we want to get? Because this movie just came out.
I don't want to get too spoilery, but I liked it.
Yeah.
We talked about it a bit after. You're like, I don't know if I liked it that much.
It was good, but I don't know. It just didn't give me what I wanted out of a Spider-Man movie.
See, I thought that too, and then I listened to the Kind of Funny review on it, and I was like, "Shit, yeah, this did do a lot of things."
I'm a big old fanboy.
It was. Oh yeah, I don't hide that at all. NameCast
what
is
they
literally
say is gospel.
a riff. No, but just not what they say is gospel. But they pointed out some things to me where I'm like, they make a lot of good points. Like they do. Like it's the first time that we've seen Peter Parker handled like this. You know, he's a kid. He's scared. He does not know what he's doing.
Yeah.
There's one point in the movie where he starts crying and like calling out for help, and it's like, shit, yeah, this is a 15-year-old kid. Like, This guy's in way over his head right now. So, yeah, man, it's, I don't know. I thought it was good. I thought the movie had some twists and turns that I didn't see coming, which had me really happy. And
it had 5 freaking villains in it.
But it didn't feel bloated.
But done correctly. Yeah.
Yeah, because the villains were kind of like...
Most of them were just cameos, really.
For the most part, but I think it did it better than Amazing Spider-Man 2, because Amazing Spider-Man 2 tried to make a big thing out of all these villains, whereas in this, it was like, this guy has a cool thing. He's the Shocker. Like, he's not going to go out of his way to call himself that, but like, it's just kind of, yeah, he's that.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it was cool, man. I was into it. Yeah, I liked it a lot. A lot. Probably my favorite Spider-Man movie, now that I think about it. Spider-Man 2 was up there high for the longest time, but I think this dethrones it.
This is probably my favorite live-action Spider-Man.
Okay, now throw some nerd shit on me. What are you going to say? What's your favorite Spider-Man movie, that fucking dork?
No, I don't mean like animated movie.
Oh, okay,
I don't
that's
think
what
I've seen any animated movies,
I was like,
actually.
I haven't either, so I was like, what kind of obscure shit are you about to pull out right now?
I just fucking love the 67 like animated series. Like
the
that
67 one?
Classic shit. It's so good. It's so good. It's kind of bad.
It's not good.
Cheesy,
it was like one of the first color
happy.
TV shows.
I know.
I remember it would always be like Spider-Man in color.
I know. It's great though.
He had such lame lines too. He's like, "It's my cue to skidoo."
I know.
Like, he would just say things like that.
I don't know.
I liked the 90s Spider-Man. That was pretty good.
The 90s was really good.
Spider blood, and like it would. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, that was fucking dope, man. It's on Netflix now too, eh?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and those classic animated shows. Speaking of classic animated shows, Castlevania. I'm about halfway through the first season. Only 4 episodes, so I watched 2. It's good.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
I need to watch it soon.
But I don't know how good it is, because it's just like, it's gory, but it almost feels like it's gory for the sake of being gory.
Isn't that okay for Castlevania? Like, I get that the games aren't really gory, but they're certainly...
They're dark in
of
tone.
that camp.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just like people who were saying to me like, "Oh, I love Wolverine or I love Logan because you blood and guts everywhere." I'm like, "Oh, I like it because it tells a more grounded story for a superhero." Like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people conflate good and mature with guts strewn everywhere. Like, I don't know. I think like
when
I think of
like
mature,
Logan uses guts as like a shock.
Right, but I think you can also have something that's mature, like our game of last week, Firewatch. You know, that's a mature game. That's a mature story.
Yeah.
But it doesn't shit, fuck, piss. It's not like that, right? So I don't know. It's interesting. I look forward to finishing the rest of it, and yeah, should be good, man. So let's get into the news you need to know about. We got the Rift, the Oculus Rift.
Holy
it's on sale all
summer.
So
a few months ago,
yes, sir,
they dropped the price of it by $200.
Now, did you feel cheated out of this? Because you
really. I was
an early adopter.
Yeah, of like the consumer product. Anyways,
I wasn't the Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. I didn't have any of the development kit ones, but yeah, they dropped the price, which is probably a good thing for them. And I think it was a big thing to just get their price below the Vive. That's what they were going for. So yeah, real shocked to see them drop it for the summer down to $399 US.
That's a competitive price point. A very competitive price point.
It's the same price as PlayStation VR.
Yes.
And it is less than half the price of the Vive.
I wonder how big of a loss they're taking on this. Or was it just marked up that high?
Like, the thing is, like, they were new products, so there's for sure a lot of manufacturing efficiencies that have been found and stuff since then. Maybe they're getting a bit of a backlog of units, although apparently they're out of touch controllers. So if they have a backlog of units, it's only the headsets. Which for the most part, as far as I understand, is the expensive part.
Yeah.
But bringing it down to $399 is pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy too, because it also, the barrier to entry for a VR compatible computer is, well, it's gone down quite a bit. I mean, you look at the 480.
Sort of. There's this weird thing going on.
Cheap.
Yeah. RX 480 do it really well. And it's usually pretty cheap. But however, right now, it's almost impossible to find.
Oh, too many people buying it?
So what's going on is, this is a bit of a tangent, but
hey man, that's all we do on this show.
like Bitcoin, right?
Oh, what? Okay, where is this going? Yeah.
So there's kind of a new version of Bitcoin called Ethereum.
Okay, it's a cryptocurrency.
Yeah. A cryptocurrency. However, its value is based off of computational work done.
I see where this is going now.
Rather than rarity.
Yeah.
So, and it's had a very sudden jump in price.
Yeah.
So people have been buying
480s and just
not even just 480s, fucking almost every reasonable graphics card. You need to go like super high end to find something at its suggested price.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it can be a little bit difficult to find a reasonable graphics card right now. It's kind of hilarious too, because my graphics card that I got for 200 some, I could probably sell for 400.
That's wow.
Which is always tempting, but I'd prefer to have a graphics card.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a functional computer is a good idea.
So anyways, that makes the barrier to entry a little bit more difficult. I think, it's a bigger problem if you're building your own PC.
Yeah.
But what is also on sale is the VR ready built PCs. Like you can get them that come with the Oculus Rift system and stuff like that.
Like $1,200 or something, or what's it come to?
I'm not really sure. It probably it depends on the systems and stuff you get.
Yeah.
But anyways, they are cheaper now, and I assume they get the same $200 price drop that the Rift unit does. So yeah, it's fairly cheap to get in on.
I mean, it's getting, I wouldn't say it's cheap, but it's getting more accessible. And it just leads me to believe that, like, in 5 years' time, it won't be that expensive, right? Like, it shouldn't be. Like, you'd think prices would only drop from here. Are we going to have a $200 VR unit? Like, could happen.
I just realized I made a mistake. I did not watch E3 in a theater this year. That was one of the favorite things that I used my Rift for last year.
Yeah, why didn't you do that?
I just completely forgot about it.
Huh.
But yeah, it's like, there's a lot of really cool experiences you can get out of VR. So hopefully this gets more people into it.
But it's funny, you have one, but I feel like you don't ever use it.
Whenever I got the SSD and reinstalled my system, I didn't do the Rift stuff at that time, and it's just getting over that barrier to do it, especially since I've been really busy and stuff, and it takes a little while to install that stuff and set it up. So.
No, I totally get you. If it's not right there in front of you, like accessible, like I keep my bikes in the house so they won't get stolen, but also it gets me on my bike way more often because it's not in the shed. Exactly. Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm sure you just like having bikes in the living room. So next we got have you heard of this game? I don't think I've heard of this, but Diablo 3. Is this something people play? I don't know. Hey Cody.
So it just had the Necromancer released. Which it was a Diablo 2 character everybody loved. Sort of got replaced by the Witch Doctor in the original release, though. Witch Doctor, summons pets and that kind of stuff, just like the Necromancer did in Diablo 2. So everybody's like, oh, I guess that's the Necromancer replacement, so we don't have to really want or like ask for a Necromancer in future expansions or patches or whatever. But they fucking made one anyways. But apparently, from what I hear, I haven't played it yet, and I want to get back in Diablo 3. I'll talk about that more in a bit. But from what I hear, the Necromancer is really, really fun, and how they did the mechanics. It was interesting. It feels different than the Witch Doctor. Mm-hmm. They kind of made it so that the pets are all kind of automatic. You aren't actually summoning the pets. What instead are you doing is kind of commanding the pets to do spells and that kind of stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
So, yeah, apparently it's a cool little system. Apparently there's some balancing issues, some certain builds with the Necromancer are like way better than some other builds with the Necromancer.
Yeah,
there should be a little bit more in parity.
That'll get fixed with time.
Yeah, so that'll get better over time. It also came with like a Diablo 2 or Diablo 1. Yeah, I think it was Diablo 1 kind of throwback little mission thing that you can do. Apparently it's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people are pretty grumpy when that got announced because it's like, oh, this isn't... Why would we want this? This doesn't feel like worthy content. Like either do proper old remake or give us new content.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, reception's apparently pretty decent.
Nice.
But yeah, I've been wanting to get back into Diablo 3 because I haven't played the last expansion that came out forever ago.
Okay.
And apparently it like completely changed how the late game was done. Which is, yeah, that seems interesting to me. This is what Diablo is. It is the late game. So yeah, I've been debating doing that if I ever find myself with some free time to kill.
When's that going to happen?
It's not going to happen anytime soon. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kind of reminds me of something. I saw something kind of cool on Reddit the other day.
Yeah.
You know StarCraft 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how I think I've even said it before, kind of a dead game now.
Okay.
If it was on Steam, it would be in the top 20 most played games on Steam.
Really?
Yeah. It has
It's not a dead game at all.
It has an equal number of players to Gary's mod, which is hugely popular.
Shit, son.
Yeah, it's not a dead game. It's just people are comparing it to, what was it, 2012 and 13, I think?
Yeah.
When it was like hugely popular. It was the esport. Everybody was playing it.
It's still a very popular game.
You know, people compare it to then, but yeah, it's still got loads and loads of players. So yeah, that's kind of cool thing I saw the other day. I wanted to share with you guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how things like that can just keep ticking along.
Yeah.
And we'd just be like, oh, no one plays it anymore. It's like, no, it's top 20
Yeah.
like, of all games. Oh, shit. I guess a lot of people still play it.
Yeah.
It's that Blizzard power, eh?
Blizzard knows how to make some video games.
They do. But it's funny. I don't like any Blizzard games, but like I respect that they're good at what they do, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They just don't make games for me, for the most part. The closest I ever got into one was Hearthstone.
Yeah.
That was it.
Did you play Diablo 3 at all?
I couldn't get into it, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Grind.
Yeah.
Grind. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. Like,
yeah, I just love the feedback of it. It just feels fun.
Definitely super fun. But I don't know. Like, I'm just kind of a person who always needs to be doing something, rushing through stuff. So like something like Firewatch to me is much more appealing because like, sure, 3 hours I can get my story, get in, get out, and keep doing shit. Sounds awesome. Can play through it in one setting. Awesome. Yeah. But a game where I feel like it's just a time sink for me, I can't do it. It gives me too much stress. It's another thing to worry about, you know? Stressed out guy as it is. Yes, that's where I come down on that. And I just realized, well, I didn't just realize, I realized a while ago, I discovered it through the power of computers. Next week we're playing Gravity Ghost. This is a game you've been championing for a while now.
I know. It's so good. And Total Biscuit made a video about it, which is how I found it. Yeah, it's a great game. Excited to play about it.
Yeah.
Play it, talk about it.
Play about it.
Play
That's
it and
my
talk
phone.
about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in checking that out and you want to be part of the conversation, go ahead and play Gravity Ghost. I think it's going to surprise you a little bit. We're not going to get into anything. I haven't played it yet, but I'm expecting good things from this game. I'm expecting good things. Now, this week, we played Antichamber. Now, this game is developed by an Alexander Bruce. And if you want to go check it out, he did an awesome GDC talk.
Yeah, so normally we try pretty hard to go over game facts and that kind of stuff, but like this guy has a 50-minute talk where he just tells the story of how this game was developed. And if you're interested in game development at all, especially like kind of the indie struggle, like he just delivers this talk in a kind of amazing fashion.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's kind of out of the norm because usually with GDC talks, and I'm not trying to disparage against, you know, independent developers, but usually they're kind of nervous and they don't speak fantastically all the time.
Yeah.
I don't either, though. So, but this guy is like very well spoken and is just like, he knows how to give a presentation.
Yeah, and it's funny because he gets into why he knows that and talks about like building those skills and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, really fantastic talk. It'll be linked in the description on YouTube.
That's the only. I don't think there's other ways we can link that out
we
in the
can't
other
really
formats.
do it on the other formats. But if you want to look up Antichamber and Overnight Success,
then you'll be able to find it
yeah.
and check it out. Now, this is made in Unreal Engine 3, so we're on like 4 point something right now, aren't we?
4.14 or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty while back was when it was made. It came out in 2013.
Yep.
And it was in development for 7 years, sort of.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah. So yeah, it was. I think it was about 2008 probably is when he started really working with it in Unreal Engine 3.
Right.
Yeah. So long before Unreal Engine 4 existed.
Absolutely. Now, it was backed by IndieFund. Now, what is IndieFund exactly?
It's a group of people that fund indie games.
Yeah.
It's really all it is. It's really great to be chosen by them. They're pretty nice with how their funding works.
Okay.
Pretty decent amount of money for pretty low ownership by IndieFund, I guess.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay. So it was originally submitted to the Make Something Unreal, which is a showcase or kind of a competition run by Epic Games.
Yeah, and they still do kind of similar things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of cool that indie people have a way to get their game out there, and that kind of stuff was one of the main ways that Alex got his game out.
Yeah. And, his first festival was Sense of Wondernight. What is this exactly? He made a lot of contacts there. I assume he talks about it in the GDC.
Yeah, he talks about it more in the GDC. But basically, it's a Japanese kind of show thing where a lot of indie people go to, and a few indie games have been found out through there. And basically, he went there and he made a crap ton of contacts in the industry there because it was kind of like, it's not like the Indie Game Awards.
Right.
Or GDC. Or PAX where like kind of everybody's there and everybody knows about it. It's kind of Sense of Wondernight's a little bit more of an intimate affair, so you can kind of actually talk to people and get to know people a little bit better.
Conversations.
Yeah, he made good use of that.
Nice. Now this game was started by modding Unreal Tournament 2004.
Yeah, that's how the developer kind of got into developing stuff. He he did kind of stuff kind of similar to Antichamber. It's kind of funny. He did a lot with the environment kind of changing around, and then he wanted to make kind of like an asteroids clone.
Yep.
So asteroids, you're in the ship, you spin around, you shoot asteroids, but the big thing about that is that the asteroids in your ship will kind of wrap around the screen.
Right.
If they go off the left side, they'll come in on the right. So what he did is he took that idea and did it in 3D space, which is a little more interesting because then your visuals also need to wrap. How does that work?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he kind of got started with that, and that's how he started getting noticed by some people, and got himself a job in the industry for a bit, but ended up going indie, obviously.
Clearly
and releasing Antichamber, which is his only game.
Yes, his only game so far. Do we know what he's working on at all, or no? Radio silence.
I didn't look for it very hard, to be honest, so maybe he said something about it, but I'm not aware.
We don't know at this moment, but what is Antichamber, Kev?
Antichamber is a first-person shooter-style puzzle game.
Okay.
With the big twist being that the world is, I think non-Euclidean is the word for it.
Okay.
So basically, if you go forward through a doorway and turn around and then go back through the doorway, you could end up in a different room.
Yeah.
So the world kind of changes with you kind of around that, and some of the puzzles are just figuring out how it's changing and where you need to go to get to the next spot. But what really the big mechanic is that you have this gun that can pick up blocks.
Yep.
And shoot blocks. Mm-hmm. And you do a bunch of puzzles with these blocks, and they make use of this non-Euclidean world to make puzzles out of them as well.
The best way I can describe this world is fucky.
It's super fucky.
Yeah, because sometimes you can just walk through walls and I don't know, you can just do things that you don't expect to do. There's a picture frame, and you look and you fill your vision with that picture frame, and then you back away from it, and now everything's like it was in that picture frame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of things like that where it's Okay, yeah, I didn't. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's so amazing though, because like you can just walk around and just experiment with doing things.
Yeah.
And, you know, if it doesn't do anything, not a big deal. But if it does do something, you're like freaking amazed. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this is cool.
Now I'm gonna be real. Well, you can imagine I had a busy week. I was unable to beat the game. I put about an hour and a half, 2 hours into it. Really enjoyed it though. How much time did you get into her?
Probably 3 or 4 hours, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
I am probably 2/3 done of the game.
Yeah, probably.
I think is about where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, really interesting. So now it has a very, I don't know, how would you describe this art style? It's like super minimalist.
Yeah, so yeah, it's another interesting thing too is the art style is I don't know, it's like it's inverted colors but like flat.
Yeah. Like I don't know how to describe it at all.
Yeah,
like textures just aren't a thing.
Yeah, textures aren't a thing. Pretty much everything is white, but there's a lot of lighting that goes on.
Yeah.
So like if a room's lit, it's because there's a big bright light lighting that room. But like I don't mean like a lantern or like a light fixture in the room. It's like literally just like game developer placed a light here and it's glowing a blue circle around.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. And yeah, it makes for some very interesting art style. All of the kind of models and everything in the game's pretty simple as far as their shapes and stuff go. Kind of made up of geometric shapes put together, except for the gun that you use, which seems like a regular 3D model with a very weird kind of cell shaded effect to it.
I thought the gun looked super cool.
Yeah.
And I guess it looked cool by contrast to other things, right?
Yeah.
'Cause it was the coolest looking thing.
Yeah. So yeah, it's that as well. But also what I really like is like, so I mentioned the blocks you use for the puzzles and you can pick them up. Basically, you bring them into your gun, and your gun sucks them up, and kind of like they circle around inside the gun.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's so much satisfaction from getting
more of those.
a whole bunch of blocks in there and just kind of filling it up and be like, oh, I have all these blocks to use.
Yeah, there was one point where there was like a wall of blocks that I realized I could take, and I just like, I took way more than I needed, but I was like, and then I walked through a door and they all vaporized. I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, there's little vaporization rooms that kind of like block you from just destroying
blocks
puzzles.
everywhere. Yeah, exactly.
Collecting blocks.
Yeah, so let's get into the puzzles. What did you think of them? I think it's hard. Like, it's not an easy puzzle game.
Yeah, it's definitely on the harder end of puzzle games, but I don't know, like...
You just gotta keep trying, basically.
Yeah, you gotta keep trying, try different things, try and be creative about it, too.
Yeah.
And, you know, eventually you can get there. But, yeah, the difficulty kind of wavers a bit. Some of them I found really, really difficult, and there's other ones, like... So one thing we didn't mention is that there's little tips on the wall.
Yeah.
A lot of these are kind of like philosophical tips, which is kind of interesting. But, you know, they tend to give you a tip for how to complete the puzzle.
Yeah.
They're more useful early on because there tends to be a tip about how to complete the puzzle right after the tip.
Yeah.
And later on, you don't get that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So then you're kind of on your own to figure those ones out. And I feel like some of these could have used a tip more than others.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I don't know. It does a lot of things to kind of mess with you. Like things are not consistent at all in this world.
Yeah.
And that's part of it. It thrives on being obtuse and weird. And, you just got to learn things over time. But ultimately, with its art style, so many things kind of look the same. Yeah. So with it relying on you to remember to be like, oh yeah, there's a secret walkway through here that only appears when I step on it, and I got to take this and this path. Like, I think that is hindered by the fact that everything looks so samey. But at the same time, I think that's also one of the strengths of the game in a way. Does that make sense?
Honestly, I think if you played more, you would start to get to where I got to, where I started recognizing rooms and remembering, and I was actually able to traverse through this weird ass space that takes you it doesn't take you to random spots. If you do a set of actions, it will always take you to the same spot.
Green? Is that what you're talking about? The green doors or whatever?
No, I just mean in general.
Okay, I thought you meant that one area. Yeah. That area
how everything works.
Yeah.
If you do the same set of actions, it'll take you to the same spot. And eventually you do get used to how to get from one spot to the other, which you actually don't even need to do. The game gives you a tool to just warp from room to room.
I really like the menu system.
Yeah.
Just to bring that up. Like, it's like, it's just on a wall, and you just kind of click at it. You look at this wall, and you're like, boop. Like, it's,
so
cool.
Yeah, whenever you press escape, you'll go back to basically the menu room.
Yeah.
And all your settings are on a wall. You can just click and do whatever. Or there's another wall that has basically the map.
Yeah.
Of the whole place.
But to be clear, the menu room very much exists in the world. Like, there's one point where you can just walk past it going through a corridor, and you're like, oh shit, that's where I am right now. Like, it's
actually it's so cool how he did that. So we mentioned the gun, and there's actually, I'd say 4 guns, but it's kind of like 4 upgrades to the gun.
Yeah.
So the one you start off with is a blue one.
Yep.
And then I think it's after you get the blue one, you leave that area and you go through that walkway. Basically, every time you get a gun, you end up going through that walkway, which is really interesting. But anyways, so there's a blue gun, and then after that is the green gun. What the green gun does is, instead of having to do 1 block at a time, you can do multiple blocks. Mm-hmm. You can just hold and pick up blocks and hold and drop blocks. However, the green blocks is kind of meant for building kind of, I don't know, lines of blocks together.
Okay.
And what's especially interesting is if you fill in, or if you draw like the outline of a square, it'll fill in that square automatically. And you can actually gain blocks by doing that.
That's cool.
Which is super cool.
Yeah.
However, the flip side of that is whatever blocks you kind of start off with, those are key blocks. And if the chain from them is broken to the blocks that got generated, like if, you cut that line in 2,
right,
then everything will disintegrate outwards from there.
Oh, no.
Which sometimes is used as like a puzzle. So there's this green wall that regenerates, so you can't really get through it. What you do is you cut a line through the middle, and then things disintegrate out from there, and they don't start respawning until the disintegration completes, so it gives you enough time to walk through that wall.
Right, gotcha.
And another puzzle is you have to build these lines to connect these regenerating things that are closing these doors.
Yeah.
You build these lines. You kind of set it off like a like you're setting up a big like detonation thing.
Yeah.
So you connect all these different points, and then like you draw that line, and like it splits out and it sets off the triggers one by one, which lets you go through like a series of doors that are all blocked off. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was a super cool little puzzly bit, just using that gun. And
nice.
Yeah, that was really fun. And then after that, you get the yellow gun, which
P-gun.
Yeah. What it lets you do actually is move blocks that have been placed.
Okay.
So you like hold and drag them, and like it'll push blocks that are along that path.
Okay.
Along that direction as well. And yeah, so there's a lot of puzzles just kind of based on that. And then after that is a red gun, which I didn't get to. It's the final gun of the game. Once you get that gun, you can complete the game.
Oh shit.
I found the game exit.
Oh, really?
Blocked by the red stuff. Shortly after I got the green gun.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of cool how like shows you like this is where you complete the game. Really early on, it's like, okay, I just need to be able to deal with these red blocks.
Right. Ah,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of the progression for the game. Honestly, like what this game reminds me of the most is the Jonathan Blow style of doing puzzle games. Obviously, he's not the only person to do this, but like taking kind of a simple set of mechanics and just stretching them as thin as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And yeah, it sounds bad put that way, but like given that they're puzzles and like you expect to like do every kind of form of puzzle that you can.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think you did a really, really good job with it.
I can definitely see the parallels between this and The Witness.
Yeah.
But I can also see a lot of parallels between this and Stanley's Parable. For me, it was like it had a lot of the same.
Stanley's Parable does have the same kind of thing where it's a non-Euclidean world.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes things just change. I mean, Stanley Parable is like totally different tones of the game, sure, but it does have that non-Euclidean world that you were talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of cool to see that again. And I was like, hey, I can relate to this. I like this game. So I wish I had a chance to play it more. I would say that I intend to play it, but that's just not the case with the way we run our podcast. You know, I got to get through Gravity Ghost and then the next game. But
Gravity Ghost is a short one at least.
Yeah. Well, if you're only working 80 hours a week, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, but I hope to get back to it at some point.
Yeah.
And just kind of veg out and go through my Steam library.
Yeah, I'll definitely complete it at some point.
Nice.
Given that I'm pretty close and I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. Nice, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have much more to say?
I don't know. So one thing we didn't touch on was music, but I don't really remember it. But
I don't remember any either. You're probably hearing it right now.
Yeah, it has a soundtrack and everything.
Yeah.
It also has I noticed one thing you can buy is a ambience music soundtrack.
Ooh. And now it
I
puts
guess
the
it
ambient
has-
music into the game? Is that what you mean?
No,
okay.
it's the ambient music from the game,
Oh,
or the
gotcha.
ambient sounds, I should say.
Okay.
Because there's some sound puzzles
Right.
at one point in the game.
There's
You
like a
got
cricket at one point. Like,
you have to listen and be like, oh, it's to the left, and figure out where to go.
You know what sucked about the cricket puzzle? I figured it out pretty quick, but then I got to the spin around part, and I just kept giving up. So I was like, no, that's not the right way. And then I kept doing it and doing it and doing it. I was stuck there for probably a good 30 minutes. I literally wrote my notes. I was like, green room sucks. Is that like,
Yeah. That part's kind of funny.
like, I figured it out early, but I just didn't know
I was
that
glad I
figured it out.
went around the spinning room the correct direction the first time.
But you have to keep going around quite a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like, how does he do that? How does he make that work in the world?
I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, because like
it's hard to think about how this game's actually constructed. And
it's
what
literally
it's
like a
doing.
circle that when you walk around 5 times, boom, there's a door there.
I think all he's doing
Like,
is counting how many
halfway.
times you've walked around.
Okay.
And actually, one thing that does happen is you speed up as you go around.
Right.
So you can kind of tell how close you're getting, and you can tell that you're making progress through that. And the room is also black and white panels.
Right.
So it's really easy to actually see that speed up happen, which I thought was a really clever little thing he did.
Okay.
But yeah, I assume he's just counting how many times you go around. And then once you're on the back side that 5th time,
Right.
then he swaps the level on the other side of that door that you can't see.
And then at other areas, like you can be looking at an area and then you look away, it gets out of your field of vision. You look back, boom, it's a different area.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
I know.
It fucks with you, man. It really
Yeah.
fucks with you.
Yeah, it's super impressive that he did it in Unreal Engine stuff as well, because it wasn't his own engine where he's
Yeah.
built specifically around this idea. He was he came up with some clever ways to use somebody else's engine to
Yeah.
make this.
Yeah, it was really cool. Definitely an impressive game. If you like puzzle games, I'd recommend checking it out. Something that really is going to challenge you a little bit. And it's a head scratcher, man.
Yeah,
As all good puzzle games
really
should
good
be.
as far as puzzle games go.
Yeah, you're big into the puzzle games.
I enjoy them quite a bit. Honestly, I don't really search them out
No.
very much. There's some that I let come to me.
Yeah,
I think with Jonathan Blow's puzzle games, I'm pretty much always going to get one of them.
you're in. Yeah,
Maybe I'm going to add Alex to that list. If he
Oh,
ends
yeah?
up making more.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he pulls out next.
But yeah, I let them come to me. People recommend them. And,
Right.
hear lots about them, which was the case for Antichamber. And I finally got around to playing it.
Yeah, man.
More than 4 years after release.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get them all right at the beginning, right?
Yeah,
But yeah, so you recommend the game?
definitely.
Absolutely. Cool. So that's the way the cookie crumbles this week for Antichamber. Next week, we will be playing Gravity Ghost.
Yeah.
I implore you to join us if that's something you choose to do.
Yep.
And yeah, be sure to, like the video if you're watching on YouTube, or give us a review. Is that how that works? On the iTunes
On
Google Play?
iTunes.
Yeah.
Google Play doesn't have reviews.
No, they
Just
don't.
iTunes, yeah.
It's funny though. Google Play is actually my primary source for podcasts.
Yeah.
It's great. You can download on the
It's a little
go
bit
and
better
go
with
biking.
Android.
It's not bad at all. I don't know. I'm a big fan. So yeah, I don't know. Be sure to join us on the things. We're youtube.com/namecast if you want to subscribe to us there, or if you just want to check out the other forums or what have you, be sure to do that. And yeah, enjoy, I don't know, your week, let us.
The week specifically, fuck your weekend. We want you to have a good Monday to
week.
Friday.
Yeah. Listen, if you have fun on that Saturday, Sunday, motherfucker, I will take you out. It'll not be good.
Yeah.
No, anyway, guys, have a good time and join us in our collaboration with Bonus Barrel.
Oh, change it
I
up.
switched it around. See, I'm like a mole. I'm going to get in the inside and tear them apart. I'm coming for you, Rob. Or what's his name? Cobb? Yeah, Cobb.
Cobb.
Coming for Cobb.